नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं हरीश चावला और आप देख रहे हैं सावन 11 न्यूज़ और अमर मंथन खबर। ये तस्वीरें इस समय नई दिल्ली की हैं, जहां YMCA एवर होटल के अंदर एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर का कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया गया था। इस कार्यक्रम में महाकाल स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अवार्ड से जहां नवाजा गया और वहीं न्यूजीलैंड से आए मिस्टर एडम इस समारोह की एक खास झलक भी रहे। लोगों से उन्होंने बड़ी सहजता से बात की और ख़ासकर आपको ये बताना ज़रूरी है कि मिस्टर एडम भले ही न्यूजीलैंड के निवासी हों, लेकिन ये भी यूरेशिया एफ्रो चैम्बर का एक अहम हिस्सा है जो न्यूजीलैंड में रहकर पर्यावरण पर कार्य करते हैं। आज जब स्वामी महाकाल कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज ने अपने भाषण के दौरान जब पर्यावरण का मुद्दा उठाया और ये मिस्टर एडम स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी की बात से बड़े सहमत नज़र आए और उन्होंने स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज के कार्यों की तारीफ भी की। आपको यह बताना भी ज़रूरी है कि पर्यावरण को लेकर स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज को करीब 25 से अधिक देशों से प्रशंसनीय पत्र मिल चुके हैं और उन देशों ने स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज को अपने देशों में भ्रमण करने के लिए निमंत्रण भी दिया हुआ है, जिसे स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज ने स्वीकार करते हुए उन देशों से कहा है कि जैसे जैसे समय मिलेगा वे ज़रूर आएंगे। ख़ास तौर पर मिस्टर एडम आज महाकाल कैलाशपुरी जी की बातों से इतने प्रभावित हुए कि उनका आशीर्वाद लेने के लिए वह स्वयं स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी महाराज के पास भी पहुँचे। हमने भी पर्यावरण को लेकर न्यूजीलैंड से आए मिस्टर एडम से खास बातचीत की। हालांकि हमारी एक सहयोगी विशाखा चौधरी ने इसमें एक निर्णायक भूमिका निभाई। उन्होंने हमारी हिंदी भाषा को कन्वर्ट करके मिस्टर एडम को इंग्लिश की जो हमारे सवाल थे उन्हें कन्वर्ट किया और तब मिस्टर एडम ने हमारे उन सवालों के सहजता से जवाब दिए। मिस्टर एडम न केवल एक पर्यावरणविद हैं बल्कि पर्यावरण को लेकर अपने देश में अच्छा खासा कार्य कर रहे हैं। वह एक्टिंग भी करते हैं, उन्होंने कई फिल्मों में काम किया है और कला मंच के एक मंजे हुए कलाकार भी हैं। चलिए आइए अब आपको दिखाते हैं कि हमने मिस्टर एडम से क्या सवाल पूछे और उन्होंने कितनी सहजता से जवाब दिया। 7-11 न्यूज़ और अमर मंथन खबर पर अगर आपको यह खबर अच्छी लगे तो आप शेयर करें और साथ साथ लाइक ज़रूर करें। अपने सहयोगी संजीव चौहान के साथ हरीश चावला, 7-11 न्यूज़ अमर मंथन खबर, नई दिल्ली। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं हरीश चावला और आप देख रहे हैं 7-11 न्यूज़ और अमर मंथन खबर। आज यूरेशिया एफ्रो चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स की तरफ से एक ग्लोबल स्तर पर यानी कि राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर एक बहुत कार्यक्रम किया गया, जिसमें 40 से ज़्यादा अधिक हस्तियों को आज विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में सम्मानित किया। और आज हमारे साथ हैं न्यूजीलैंड से आए हुए मिस्टर एडम विनबर्ग। तो आज क्योंकि महाकाल बाबा स्वामी कैलाशपुरी जी ने प्रकृति को लेकर बहुत बड़ी बात की और हम क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड के हमारे जो आज एडम जी हैं वो आज भारत के अंदर हैं और ये भी आज अवार्ड से सम्मानित हुए हैं। यूरेशिया चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स ने इन्हें भी सम्मानित किया है क्योंकि इन्होंने अपने न्यूजीलैंड क्षेत्र के अंदर विभिन्न क्षेत्रों के अंदर बहुत बड़ा कार्य किया है। तो सबसे पहले मेरा एडम जी से सवाल ये है कि न्यूजीलैंड में रह के ये किस तरह का कार्य कर रहे हैं?
What are you working in New Zealand? We want to ask.
What I like to do in New Zealand is carry on the legacy of my late mother, who was a simple, spiritual person who cared about life and people. So it's a very simple plan. You bring together people of goodwill, you bring together the right technologies, and you find a way to pay for it. It's almost childlike. And she was given a professorship by an American university for that. The way that I carry that on is in contexts like this, meeting people like Dr. Rohit, and also I wrote a book about 20 years ago which included the former Prime Minister of New Zealand, Sir Wallace Rowling, who designed our national monument, the National Museum of New Zealand. And I was very honoured to do an interview with him, like I'm being interviewed. I said, "Sir, it's been an honour meeting you." He said, "Never forget what you're doing is important, you're bringing people together." I find in the world's largest nation, with the world's largest population, fast-growing economy, emerging world power, even though you are an ancient society, I'm still called upon for that gift of bringing people together that I've had for about 30 years since leaving university.
He is doing ये important thing that you are an artist and you are is an actor. You are an actor also, and you are doing in movies like films in England. How you manage the professional and this acting work together? We want to know.
Well, I was just with the acting. It's very interesting. I was asked to do a reel on Instagram, something like about 50,000 views in a day. That was 20 minutes work. I was asked to, on behalf of the Indian Council Cultural Relations, asked to play a historical figure, David Scott, on the stage. And I was also asked to appear in a period piece movie. When you say acting, I didn't audition, I was asked. And then I went to a casting call, Bollywood, they took my details. So if anyone wants me to act, I do that. I don't see myself as an actor, but I can do it.
No, you are not professionally actor.
Well, I've had some basic training in acting very long time ago, but I have been able to do the acting method.
So now you are not indulged in that acting activity?
Well, when someone asks me to, yes. So that's in India. 3 times in India I've been acting.
Okay, in Indian?
In India.
And in serials
Not in
Names,
in India.
names, films names.
Okay, there's a film called Sobjat, which is Kazi for shoes. And it's all about how obtaining some special shoes from, I think, Japan changes the culture, changes the whole dynamic. The other one on stage was called The Brave Hearts. It's about tribal leaders fighting the British for independence.
भारत में
that India is a polluted country. Sometimes we can see that AQI is very high in Delhi. That is the capital of India. See how New Zealand government did manage it for past years and the future. What is the plan? You can see that New Zealand government taking the initiative for a good well-being and protect the environment.
I think the best thing to do, New Zealand has 3 things. Agriculture is the backbone of the New Zealand economy, but it also needs to use the smart technologies to stay competitive. And rather than sell our primary produce to India, we can train Indians in renewable energy, agri-tech, and also world-class innovation. The irony there being that a lot of our great minds in New Zealand immigrated there from here. So they'd be coming back home, I think, to help the Indians. But the great thing that India has, like I said in my speech, is human capital.
Yes.
You have in your population.
140 crore million. 140
Exactly,
million people are here.
exactly. The world's most populous nation.
That is the infrastructure.
Exactly. And the other thing too is when you have indigent communities or tribal villages, you do not need much to power those villages. You might something called, I think, a modular reactor, small modular reactor. So it's not going to cost too much. You have a kind of technology that can be used to empower a whole village. Now, New Zealand can learn from that. New Zealand can learn in terms of small-scale economic use of power. And then the other thing, like I mentioned in my speech, the person who split the atom came from New Zealand. And once we could discover the makeup of an atom, we went into all sorts of things: climate science, medicine, energy, nuclear physics, sadly nuclear weapons, which we don't really want too much of, but nevertheless how learning the structure of the atom is incredibly important. And then in Meghalaya, where I have been staying for 2 years, you might have heard of rocks that look like light bulbs. So what do those rocks that tell us? Once those are studied, one is the light comes from either the luminescence is the word I'm after. Luminescence of the rock comes from either heat or light. What does that mean when the students in northeast India study that well, study rocks all around the world? What is that going to tell us about the age of the world, the age of the rocks, civilizations that have gone before? And then when you start to put everything together, integrated sustainable design. You start to look at waste management, you start to look at food security, you start to look at energy, and you start to look at water.
So
Yeah.
you visited Northeast, like that?
Yes, I
It's a
have.
part of India, Northeast.
Yes.
And now you are in a North India, in Delhi.
Yes.
So what difference do you feel that both are the stations that how different Northeast and Delhi actually from the?
Well, of course, the Northeast is a tribal culture, Meghalaya matrilineal, where children are named after the mother, not the father. But still, there was a politician in the days of your Prime Minister Rao, going back about 30 years. The National Tribal Affairs Minister was from Meghalaya, and he said something wonderful about how the unity and diversity, the great advantage, selling point of India being the world's largest democracy, finding social harmony, is the result of the tribal communities and not non-tribals or people from the hill stations in the northeast, people from the plains throughout India, just having that commonality, that common love for the mother country.
Okay, thank you very much.
He's saying that everywhere we can see afforestation and the mountain also degraded. So, do you think that the whole earth is somewhere in a stake, or there is any dangerous who are roaming around of the earth? Do you think that because the day by day we can see the pollution and the degraded mountain and the afforestations also? So he want to know basically, do you think that it's a big danger for future of the earth?
Yes, I think what we need to do is, as you say, reforest, keep on replanting and reforestation everywhere. You know, Scotland once upon a time was covered in forest. You know, that gives you some idea. But the other thing is if you are going to build timber, houses from timber, which is actually a very good building material, use sustainable timber. Now, there's an award-winning place in Goa, simply called Wooden Homes. They build resorts, they build houses. They use pine from Siberia and Russia. So they're using the same timber, but they're replenishing. As they use that timber, they plant again, and it's recycled.
Same thing he is also saying that all
So-
around the...
And then, like what I was talking about with the luminescent rocks, you can replicate that around the world as a good example.
And how you see that all around the wars of the between of the country, and this is the disrupt the completely harmony and peace of the world people, and it's a nuclear weapons also threatening around the world. So how do you see all of the things that?
Well, it comes in right at the beginning. When you ask me about this, you've got to be childlike. We were all children once, and we had this wonder when we were children. You maintain the wonder, but remember, bring all the good people together, bring the technologies together, and then pay for it. And you put that under one banner. Hopefully, this chamber is one way of doing that. You know, and it's a very simple thing. And like the Prime Minister said to me, you're bringing people together. And it's not. It seems really complicated, but it isn't. Look at who I met. You know.
We can see that good people.
And then I ended
came
up.
together.
I ended up.
King Swami Kailash Puri Ji Maharaj, he wants save to earth.
Yes, yes.
What about King Swami Kailash Puri?
Well, I'm sorry I didn't understand a lot of what he was saying. I know he exudes spirituality, but again, if you treat the earth, if you treat the earth like, as is done in many cultures, a mother, or you treat the earth like creation of the higher power, you are showing reverence for the spirituality of earth as a creation. So whatever you take, you give back. You maintain that relationship. And if you think of humanity, the environment, like assets, like gold or whatever, but the greatest asset is humanity. The greatest asset is the planet. And we bring the best for and from. Now that's what my mother said, Professor Elizabeth Greenwell. That's a great quote. That it's our job, our responsibility to get the best for and from the two greatest assets, humanity and the environment.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
sir.
much. Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
And he talks
talks about different kinds of nuclear, what is that, bombs which is being prepared inside the earth, and that is going to be devastating for all the humans in future. And he even preached that Swamiji has been observing how natural disaster is affecting the lives of the people because of the way the urbanization is going on, the commercialization is going on, is destroying all the natural set of the earth. Basically, the mountains are being cut for preparing some buildings, and then the trees are being wiped out. It's all devastating. So his ambition and his message to the world is to save the environment by preserving it, preserving the natural resources, and not to exploit it and create something which can destroy the humans.
What think about this?
What do I think about it?
आप क्या सोचते हैं? Like, what do you think?
I think my late mother, spiritual woman, and simple quote, but now he is bringing that quote to life. I have to come to India and meet Swami, but I'll give you the quotation.
Okay.
We have, from my late mother, we have two major assets, humanity and the environment. It is our job, our responsibility to get the best for and from both. Can you remember that?
Yeah. He's saying कि हमें मानवता के लिए काम करना चाहिए और हमें एनवायरनमेंट के लिए भी काम करना चाहिए. हमें देना भी चाहिए, लेना भी चाहिए एक व्यवस्थित तरीके से, ताकि दोनों एक साथ हार्मनी में रह सके.
ये प्रसाद है नमिता जी, साथ साथ ट्रांसलेट करो.
नहीं करने का है,
ये भी बताओ.
आशीर्वाद है रुद्राक्ष धारण करने का. एक उसमें से रुद्राक्ष की माला होगी देखो.
हेलो. नहीं मैं तो स्वामी जी का
माला, रुद्राक्ष माला.
होल का तो कौन सा होल? वो तो मेरे को पता. नमिता जी आई बैठी हैं न्यूजीलैंड वाले को लेके स्वामी जी के पास प्रसाद दिलवाने के लिए.
हीलिंग पावर.
अच्छा, कोई नहीं, मैं भेजता हूँ किसी को.
अरे
क्या था? लिफाफा था.
इधर देखो, इधर उसे बाद में कर लेना. वो क्या
और एक माला है,
फोटो खींचना.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. किस क्या नाम लिखा उस पर? उदय. उदय. मैं उठवाता हूँ. ठीक है.
आप
राज जी
और एक पैसा
नमिता जी साथ साथ ट्रांसलेट करो.
आप उनको समझा दो.
Something very special kind of Rudraksh mala which has got
Ashirwad.
spiritual
कभी
energy,
खर्च नहीं करना है.
and this money has not to, this is not to be spent anywhere. You just keep it in your spiritual place, where religious
Wallet.
place. Wallet.
मंदिर या
And we can read this. I can read this on the plane back to New back to New Zealand.
You can keep it in your bus. This is just for meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah.
But it's also on the table with that. Because I'll tell you what, in New Zealand,
ये सब सबकॉन्शियस माइंड की हीलिंग पावर स्ट्रांग.
This is to be used while praying to God. This is to be worn only while praying to
बेटे
God.
उनको ये समझाओ कि उसको ले जाके अच्छे धागे में उसको भिगो देंगे और एक में सोना लगा लेंगे ऐसा लास्ट में, तब धारण करेंगे.
इसको धागे में कैसे भिगोएंगे?
वो नायलॉन का धागा जो सोनार होते हैं ना, सोनार के पास जो पटवा लोग रहते हैं, तो वहाँ पे वो बराबर ऐसा गट्ठी मार के बना देंगे.
वो पटार होता है ना, पटार वाला धागा उसमें
उसको सरसों का तेल, मस्टर्ड तेल में उसको डाल देंगे शनिवार को.
धागे में?
हाँ नहीं, ये
बकराज
पूरा काला हो जाएगा.
अच्छा सर,
ऐसा ही होगा. हाँ,
गोल्ड.
ये नीचे लगाना है, ये नीचे पे.
एक गोल्ड लगा लिया.
70-153.
खान में मुर्दे रहते हैं, उनके ऊपर
5-3
पका के खा के और
0-0
कोई शुद्धि नहीं,
4-4
और ना ही किसी
2.
प्रकार का कोई बीमारी.
दर्द है सब दूर. शुक्र
ठीक है.
सब अच्छा है.
ऐसे डाल देना.
भय नहीं रहेगी, मेरे भय रहेगा. ऊपर वाले का ताकत रहता है.
अच्छा, now I'll explain you what this is. This is actually a kind of plant called
देखो ये लग रहा है
Rudraksh,
बड़ा।
where a kind of plant which is called Rudraksh plant. Yeah, and these are the fruits of Rudraksh. So when this is used for praying Lord Shiva, he is a Hindu god, Lord Shiva, and send you the snapshot of that.
शिव
So we have to on Saturday morning before sunrise, we have to dip this in the mustard oil, the whole mala. This is called mala garland. Yeah, and this has to be dipped in the mustard oil before sunrise, and it has to be taken out on the same day, that is on Saturday, before sunset. And a nylon thread is